In 2008, BP took a stake in the Tropical mill. In 2011, BP acquired the Brazilian sugar and ethanol producer CNAA and purchased the remaining shares in Tropical. We now own and operate 3 ethanol mills located in Edea and Itumbiara, both in Goiás State, and Ituiutaba, Minas Gerais State. We also have an office in São Paulo. We use locally grown sugarcane to produce ethanol, sugar, and renewable electricity. This process starts by planting and growing sugarcane on predominantly leased land. When it's ripe, the sugarcane is mechanically harvested and taken by truck to a mill. These are our agricultural operations. Industrial operations begin when the cane stalks reach the mill. The cane juice is extracted from the fibers. The fibrous waste, called bagasse, is burnt in a boiler that generates all the steam and electricity that the mill needs, plus a surplus that is sold to the Brazilian national grid. The cane juice can make either sugar or ethanol via fermentation and distillation. Our ethanol is sold both in Brazil and overseas, while our sugar is sold mostly to major customers, including PepsiCo and Coca-Cola. The sugarcane process leaves very little waste, as byproducts are recycled. For example, vinasse, a byproduct from ethanol production, is sprayed back into the fields, greatly reducing the need for irrigation and fertilizers. The Agriculture Automation team has developed a georeferencing information system connected to the onboard computers located inside all harvesting machines. This system, using GPS positioning and automatic piloting, allows for very precise planting, fertilizing, and harvesting, improving yields by around 3%. We employ about 6,000 people in our operations, the majority of them Brazilians from the regions where we operate. Work in the field is fully mechanized, and this means that 95% of workers are skilled workers. For example, heavy equipment drivers, mechanics, technicians, with a lot of training. More than 180,000 hours of training takes place every year. Employees register their ID badges 4 times a day at all industrial and agricultural facilities. We transport our workforce to and from the mill, picking them up at specific places in the nearby communities and taking them to the fields or the mill and back. These buses are tracked and monitored, which helps to control routes and speed. BP's values and behaviors are being instilled into the teams, as well as our code of conduct, which has been communicated to all employees in over 40 face-to-face group training sessions, as well as through online learning. In the 28 local communities in which we operate and where our workforce live, we have a significant social footprint. This has led to many initiatives, such as building an accommodation complex near the Tropical mill to house over 600 workers working on the Tropical expansion construction project. In partnership with a local medical company, BP helped build a medical center in the nearby town of Porteirão, 22 kilometers from Tropical mill, offering 24/7 medical service to our employees and local inhabitants. We are also actively engaging with the local communities through corporate social responsibility programs, such as Jornada pela Vida and Ideia Digital, among others. BP is ensuring its predominantly rural-based workforce adopts its standards and policies, especially around safety. As soon as BP started operating the mills, actions on safety helped to boost safety levels, which can be shown by the improvements to our RIF rates. Examples of safety and security measures. 1. Protecting electricity poles and energy conductors to make sure our people and machinery are kept away from energy cables. This barrier is being reinforced through the identification of pylons and overhead cables in the onboard computer programs. 2. Changing transportation routes to avoid populated areas where there are schools. 3. Putting specific safety clauses in all vendor contracts. 4. BP's best practices, as defined in OMS, are being implemented for ethanol production. Last year, Itumbiara Mill was chosen as the location of an accelerating OMS conformance project, with 8 projects focused on continuous improvement. Born out of the Better Sugarcane initiative, and today offering the first global metric standard for sugarcane, Bonsucro has certified the Tropical mill, acknowledging BP's good practices from the planting of the cane through to the production of ethanol. The international standard for improving working conditions, SA 8000, based on the principles of 8 international human rights conventions, has also been awarded to the business. SA 8000 also encourages employees to speak up about their issues, suggestions and concerns. Since acquiring the biofuels facilities in Brazil in 2008 and 2011, we have been embedding BP's systems, processes and culture. Significant progress has been made in safety, ethics and compliance, and in many areas we are leading change across the industry in Brazil. We can be pleased with our progress to date, but never complacent. These are the first steps of a multi-year journey.